Hey, what's up? It's your favorite homegirl, Kayana Rich, and this is going to be Aquarius's 2024 forecast reading. Now, again, I know y'all are probably saying, girl, where the hell you been at? Listen, the new year, spiritual new year, doesn't start until Aries season. So we have until March 21st to be in preparation mode and get prepared for what is to come. I have all my notes ready for you guys. So I'm super excited to get started. Okay, so Aquarius 2024 is going to be the season that you are healing yourself. Okay, you are being intentional with your self healing, you are being intentional with what healing looks and feels like, and most importantly, you are making sure that you are doing the things that align with you becoming the best version of yourself. Okay, now when we talk about healing yourself, we also have to talk about the importance of accountability on your healing journey. And Aquarius, I know that a lot of times you guys are really just trying to be the best versions of yourselves, and you sometimes have a little bit of tunnel vision. Now, there's nothing wrong with having tunnel vision, but we want to make sure that you are holding yourself accountable and you're willing to do the work, okay? Because when the work is required, it means that you have to allow yourself the chance to be receptive to learning and growing and being teachable. So I really want to point that out, that 2024 is definitely going to be the year of you holding yourself accountable and healing, but also opening up to the right people to create the right results. Okay. It is going to be a very result driven year, but the only way that it can be result driven is by you giving yourself the opportunity to really be intentional with not only your work, but really being intentional with where you see yourself and what it is that you want to accomplish during this season. Okay. Um, you have to be okay with being vulnerable. Okay. It's going to be what takes you to the next level, but you also have to be able to manage your expectations. Okay. So 2024 is really calling for you to heal yourself with that accountability, for you to open up yourself to the right people, which in turn is, being vulnerable, but then also managing your expectations while being intentional. And when I talk about managing your expectations while being intentional, I really want you guys to not move with the wind. Okay. You can't take things by fly. You have to be willing to have that vulnerability to communicate when you need the assistance or help of other people. You have to be willing to have that vulnerability when it means that you have to overextend yourself, maybe by, working a little bit harder tonight, maybe by, giving yourself a little bit more grace. Whatever it is, you have to be willing to put yourself in position. And when you put yourself in position, you are allowing yourself to grow and become, again, the best version of self. And so I'm really excited for 2024 for you, okay? When it comes to the growth that you're going to be experiencing, Aquarius, now is the time for you to close your access off. Okay. Now is the time for you to close your access off to certain people. When certain people aren't doing what it is that you need from them, when certain people aren't showing up for you in the way that you want them to, you have to be willing to trust in your intuition, and you have to be willing to trust yourself enough to know, okay, I need to limit the access that you have to me because you're kind of taking advantage of me. You have to be willing to kind of really get into that space where you're comfortable enough to create those boundaries and you're comfortable enough to speak your truth. Okay. Late 2024. So going into maybe even like September, October, November is going to really be where your romantic relationships pick up. Okay, Aquarius, this is really going to be the season where you are really focusing, or you're really allowing yourself to really fall in love. Okay, you are going to be doing all the healing work from now until then. You're going to be, creating your vision boards, mapping things out, being intentional with where you want to be, being intentional with where you want to go and how you want to get there. You're going to be doing the work. You're going to be able to observe and understand and acknowledge some of those occasions where you could have handled a certain situation better. You're going to be able to acknowledge and move correctly when it comes to navigating different spaces. And so when this romantic relationship comes in for you at the end of 2024, or if you are already in a romantic relationship, the major highlight that you're going to have to deal with is transparency. Okay, it's going to be you allowing yourself to speak your truth, standing in your truth, which you guys usually don't have a difficult time with standing in your truth or expressing your truth. But where you do have a difficult time is that sometimes your emotions and your feelings are so sacred to you that you're not really interested in sharing it with other people. You're not really interested in letting other people know where you stand. You're more of a, I know where I stand, so I'm going to do it anyways, and if you like it, great. If you love it, excellent. If you don't, who cares? And so I think that it's really going to more so be about you just kind of being in a space when it comes to your romantic relationship where you're just allowing yourself to show up. And you'll know what it feels like to really show up because you're going to be in a different space, okay? You're going to have gone through all that healing over all these months. You're going to heal your relationship with money. It almost feels like you're always chasing something when it comes to your finances. And so really get to the root of what that is. What is the reason for you to always feel like you are chasing something? Are you afraid of failure? Are you afraid of a life that you don't want to ever go back to? What is it that's really pushing you to be in this constant chase? What is really pushing you to be in this constant kind of like game where you're constantly looking for something or you're constantly chasing dime after dime? And it's like, even when you hit a financial goal or even when you hit a financial target, you still feel like you're not, it's not enough. You're not satisfied. So really focus on healing, again, healing that relationship with your finances, because there are going to be new opportunities for money on the horizon. Okay. Aquarius, you are going to be the person who really masters what it means to really um be educated in regards to what your finances look and feel like, and then really taking the steps to really put things into motion. It's going to be a very fruitful year, sorry, for you financially when it comes into the season. However, if you don't do the healing work, you're going to repeat the same cycles, which is you have a very big lump sum of money. You're feeling very good with the lump sum of money that you have. You're feeling very, you're making the progress, you're doing the work, you're loving every bit of it. And then you kind of get to that space where you're like, okay, um I blew a bag because I just wanted to prove to people I can, and now I got to do it all over again. Or I was emotionally spending, or I needed 4 vacations when I really should have just taken 2. Or I bought this bag because I felt like someone was trying to play in my face and act like I couldn't afford it. It's not about you proving anything to other people. It's about you being very meticulous, okay? I feel like when it comes to your friendships and romantic partnerships, I do feel like 2024 is going to be bringing a lot of people that are igniting things in you that you weren't really sure of, or that you weren't really prepared for, or that you weren't really understanding of. And so allowing yourself to just really be open to what that experience is going to look and feel like is going to be real key, okay? When it comes to your career, okay, when it comes to your career, look at me. Look at me. We got to have a conversation. Look at me. You need to find your passion this year and lock in. Okay? The self-doubt, the fear, the the feeling like you're not good enough, the feeling like, oh, I need to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G in order for me to be able to accomplish this. All of that has to go out the door. Okay. You got to take those moments where you're feeling motivated, where you're feeling inspired, where you're feeling like yourself. You got to take those and you got to really go. Okay. And when I tell you to lock in and chase your passions, Aquarius, I don't mean consistently look for accolades, consistently look for awards, consistently look for recognition to be the measuring point of how successful you are, or to be the measuring point in terms of the validity of your work. Stop looking for outside validation because you're not going to get it until a little bit later. And so you got to be doing this because you're passionate about it. You got to be doing this because you feel like in the heart of hearts, this is really what it is for you. This is really what you got to be doing. You got to go with passion. Okay? You have to follow passion. So just kind of understand that, because again, with the new opportunities and money and all of those things, like that is going to come. That is going to come. That is going to show up. You don't need to overanalyze that. You don't need to do too much. The money, the accolades, the acceptance, the rewards, all of those things are going to come. But you're not in that season. Right now, you're in the season of perfecting the craft, finding the passion, loving the process, and perfecting it. Okay? Perfection, or I should say passion, perfection, and preparation. Those are your three P's: passion, perfection, and preparation. Or passion, preparation, perfection. That's the better order. But that is going to be where you guys are really at in this season. And so, again, I don't want you to like overworking yourself. I don't want you to keep feeling like you're not where you're supposed to be because you don't feel like enough people are really messing with your music. You don't feel like enough people are really messing with you. That will come. Okay. Your money is going to be coming in spurts this season. So what I would recommend is really get down with having a really good saving plan. Have some type of saving contingency, have some type of investment, have something where while you are, having the money and while you are figuring out what to do with your money in other areas, whether it be your bills, your day-to-day life. And I know it's easier said than done in terms of saving and investing, but I'm confident that you guys are going to have that spurt of money that you're looking for. And so, because I'm confident that you're going to be having that spurt of money that you're looking for, I'm also confident that you're going to have to do some saving. You're going to have to be responsible with your finances because you're going to have a lot of hot and cold moments. And when you start getting cold, you start getting anxious, you start getting antsy, you start working off impulse. You don't start working logically, and you need to be able to be logical when it comes to your money in this season. So you need to make sure that you're always afloat. You need to make sure that you're always in a season of floating. Okay. What I also want to talk about for you this year, what I think is going to be also very important for you or very key as well, is give yourself the opportunity to revisit old plans. So if there is something that you were trying to work on, I feel like for a lot of you guys, maybe like last October, November, December, maybe even January, there was some ideas that you guys were having. There were some ideas that you guys were trying to execute, and for whatever reason it wasn't working. Whatever that reason is, I want you to revisit them. If you made a vision board for last year, go back to the vision board last year, look through the things that you didn't get to accomplish or you didn't get to do, and really revisit and think about how you can implement the new season that you're in right now and the new tunnel vision that you have, or like the new goals that you have set. Look at it with a fresh set of eyes, because I feel like there is something in the plan, and I'm getting almost okay. 444 is very significant, so make sure that you look up those angel numbers. But I feel like I'm getting almost like music, writing, like a blog, something that you can share with the world or something that you can give to the world, but you weren't able to figure out how to execute it. Maybe like a creation space, maybe like a business space, but you weren't able to figure out what you needed to do in order to execute it. And so because you couldn't figure out how to execute it, you kind of like took a step back. Now is the perfect time for you to like go back and look at those plans, and maybe again with that vulnerability and building your tribe and reaching out to other people, bring someone in that you trust. Bring someone in that you trust and ask them the questions like, what do you think needs to improve on this? What do you think I can change on this? And I think that when you learn to accept the opinions of other people and not make it be a defining moment for you, but more so allow it to be a learning point, or a learning point, really, a learning, knowledgeable experience, it will be a lot different for you. Okay. Now, when it comes to, let's just make sure, because I'm all over the place, Aquarius, and that's telling me that you guys really need to have some stability. You really need to focus on structure. You can't go with the flow. This is not the year for you to go with the flow. And I know that because y'all have me all over the damn place. I don't even know where I'm at. But I also want to say this: when it comes to your self love, your confidence, and how you're feeling about yourself, really focus on your health this year. And I'm not going to tell you to go on no fad diet. I'm not going to tell you to do anything in regards to big diets or anything like that. If you don't need to do the surgery, if you don't need the plastic surgery, you don't. But if you don't need to do the surgery, if you don't need to go under anesthesia, if you don't need to go under the knife in any capacity, if you don't need to, now is not the time to. Okay. What you need to do if you're not feeling the best about yourself, now is a time for you to get a good gym partner or get a trainer. Stay away from red meats, get into an alkaline diet. Now is a great time for you to get back to your roots, spend time with your ancestors, really figure out what is the foods that you should be eating, really figure out what are the things that you should be really pushing for, really start asking yourself those questions about who you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years and what that person looks like. Something that I'm being called to say, um, you're not for everybody, Aquarius. You're not for everybody. And I think that I need to reiterate that. So I'm going to say it one more time. You're not for everybody. And that's okay. It's okay to not be for everybody. It's okay to not be what everybody needs, what everybody wants. It's okay to be the villain sometimes in somebody's story. It's okay to not be everything to everybody. It's your exclusivity. You have to learn to be exclusive. You have to learn that you don't need to share everything. You don't need to over explain yourself. You don't need validation. You don't need to compare. You don't need to doubt. You don't need to do any of those things when it comes to you. Okay. You're not for everybody, and that is okay. What you need to focus on are the people that you are for. What you need to focus on are the people that see you, and you don't have to do a lot of convincing for them to see you and acknowledge you and appreciate you. What you need to do is focus on, being so in tune with yourself that when people start to question who you are, you just laugh at them. Because it's like, if you only knew the type of person that I was, you wouldn't even be coming at me like that. If you only knew the power that I held, you wouldn't even be trying to approach me on no crazy shit. Okay, so it's really like Aquarius, you really just got to get into that season. You really got to lock in. You really got to just like allow yourself to be in position where, again, you're not feeling like you're doing too much, but you're doing enough. And so I think that that's going to be kind of the biggest thing for you right now. Um, I think that you are definitely entering a season where things are about to be exactly what it is you need to be, and be proud of who you are. Be proud of what you've come into. Be proud of the person that you're becoming. Be proud of the abilities that you have shown yourself and proven to yourself, because 2024, again, like I said, is going to be the year of just really stepping into your power. So it's really important. And again, going back to that exclusivity is like staying away from people who make you feel like you're not good enough. Okay. The luck is finally going to be on your side. I don't want to emphasize recognition because it's going to come regardless. Just be honest with yourself. Continue to be a good person. Continue to show up for people. Continue to show up for yourself. Continue to ask your family members about the people in your family tree. Like, continue to get to know the people in your family. Continue to get to know what your history is. Continue to get to figure out what your history, how you became the person that you are today. Just remember that you are someone else, if that makes sense. Okay. You are another person. You are an ancestor reincarnated. You are breath. I want you to also that as well. Focus on your breathing. Really start to do breath work. Really start to focus on giving yourself the opportunity to just like really get yourself in tune, get in tune with yourself. Because honestly, Aquarius, I feel like a lot of the chaos that you've been feeling, a lot of the depressive episodes that you've been experiencing, a lot of the self sabotage, a lot of the, questioning your worthiness, a lot of that is coming from you just really not being in tune with yourself. And if you feel like now is the time for you to move, if you feel like now is the time for you to go somewhere new, then maybe that's what you need to do. But just really try to be intentional this year. Really just hold yourself accountable. Really do the work. Even when it makes you feel uncomfortable, do the work. Be transparent. Let it be known when something doesn't feel right to you. Let it be known when you're passionate about something and you don't care if other people don't understand. And save. Be wise with your finances. Don't don't allow your finances to be mitigated by your mood. Don't allow your finances to be controlled by your mood. Don't allow your finances to be hand in hand with your mood. Okay. Once again, I want to thank you, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, for allowing me to do this reading for you. I hope that I was able to bring you clarity, get you excited for what 2024 has in store for you. I am super proud of you, and just take it easy, boo. Peace and blessings.